Hey everybody, it's Lex from PDQ.com. We're going to take you through automating your testing. Now, there's a debate. Do you test? Do you not test? Obviously, you've seen me do stuff. I test live in production, but it's definitely not the best way to go. I know this is a subject we covered before, but surprised that we had an epiphany on better ways to do it. So let's jump in. First of all, Jordan, question for you.
All right.
Why would you test, man?
Well, I'm a big advocate of testing because in my younger days, I did not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So at one point, we were putting in new load balancers, and they had a different account for logon as a service.
Mm-hmm.
And I manually put that into the domain controller instead of letting group policy do it, and overwrote all the existing logon as a service accounts, except for the one for the load balancer.
You had a bad day?
Oh, that was a very bad day.
Okay.
But it took like an hour or so for the consequences to really reach us, so I didn't even tie them together. It was I brought down our entire environment for, I'd say, a day.
Wow.
Good
So
times.
not testing can be expensive.
It can, yeah.
All right. Well, let's do this. I'm going to run through building a schedule, just a production schedule, and then I'm going to show you the old way of building a test schedule that's automated, and then we'll show you guys the new way we came up with. We're going to roll with Chrome. Again, this is nothing new, building a schedule. So we're going to do a new schedule. We'll call it Chrome. Okay. Triggers, we'll run this. Let's just be consistent. I like to run stuff on Friday after hours. So we'll say we'll go at 8 p.m. Okay. Targets, we're going to let inventory select those targets for us. Why not? Reduce the amount of work we have to do, right? With that, when you're selecting your targets, obviously, Chrome Old would, in this case, what we're going to be looking for is the Chrome Old collection. Okay. Verify our package. Again, options, stop deploying to targets once they succeed, and we give this an OK. Now, the story with this is, what's going to happen on Friday? It's going to deploy Chrome to all the machines that have old Chrome. Now, do you want, again, testing this. We need to test this before, Friday. To make this test happen or to do that, a couple of things we need to discuss first. So with that, jumping into preferences, if you look at auto downloads, right now I've got my auto downloads set to 14 days. We did that so that I had something to show you guys with auto downloads today, but normally that would be 7 days, right? In my case.
I think that's the default in the product.
It is, and it's probably a pretty good rule of thumb, right? I don't like testing for people, so let's let everybody else test.
That's right.
So if there's a problem. With that, we're going to need to get a version down earlier so that we can actually do some testing. To do that, we're going to go to the package library, and we're going to go download another version of Chrome. And we're going to change that auto download. The great thing, again, the global setting is set in preferences, and you can, at a per package level, change the auto download option. So as soon as that's done with the check there, I'm going to open that up and go to options. Okay. We're going to set this to immediate. So as soon as one is available, it's going to download it. And it's probably a good idea to indicate that this is a test version of Chrome. So I'm going to pen test on there. Any naming conventions you've found useful? I just appended at the end, test.
Yeah, I prefer it at the end. That way I know anything that's uniform is fine. I wouldn't recommend put it in the middle. I'm not sure if that would update properly, but beginning and end.
I think you need to keep it at the end. So I'm just going to put test on it. So now we can see test. You'll also notice right here, the approval, automatic immediately, okay, as opposed to use settings from preferences. You can now tell that that has had that changed. Okay, now that we've got the test package, we need to build a collection of machines to test with. Now, because we're going to test Chrome, I am going to open up Chrome Old. Actually, I'm going to do this first. We'll build a new dynamic collection. We're going to call this test machines, right?
Just look at that highlighter up.
Hey, JJ, I wanted you to enjoy that highlighter.
He was really highlighting it.
Yeah, highlighting something.
Highlighting something. Oh, sorry, this is going to be a static collection, not a dynamic collection.
We're off to a roaring start.
Boy, wow, okay. Test machines. Now, I could go in and learn to type, but we all know that's never going to happen. I am going to do this. I'm going to give that an OK. There's test machines. I am going to go click on Chrome Old because I want to use some of these machines as tests. And I'm going to select, I don't know, Conrad, Cool Cat, Elmer Fudd, Foghorn, I don't know, Penelope, Speedy. I'm just going to drag and drop those guys into my test machines. There they are. Okay. Another thing I'm going to do just is I'm going to grab some machines that don't have Chrome on it because, you know, it will make a difference. So we'll go Chum, Claude, and Crony. Drag those in. So now I've got 9 test machines. When you're selecting your test machines, a good rule of thumb, you know, if you've got a myriad of OSs, grab some different OSs. If you've got different groups of software, like accounting has different software, then development has different software, then, you know, I don't know, the other departments, you probably want to mix that up a little bit. And then I do like to go pick one that, you know, will just kind of piss somebody off. So JJ, which one? Microverse 1 or 2?
Those are yours. So
Yeah, okay. No, I'm not going to do that. So, but so these are our test machines, and that's where we're going to kind of stick this. Now, the previous way to build testing is I would build a production. Well, we've got a production collection we're going to run against, which is Chrome Old. So we need to run, in this case, for the Chrome test against machines that are in Chrome Old and part of test machines. So to do that, what I do is build a new dynamic collection and nest collections inside there. So go to computer, go to collections, is a member of, we need it to be a member of Chrome Old, right? And we also need it to be a member of, and my clicking isn't, there we go, Chrome Old. And we'll also need one that is a member of test machines so that we're actually testing machines that are upgrading, right? Any thoughts on that, Jordan?
Just on that one, you want to make sure it is the all for that, so they're part of both of those collections. If it's the any, then you're going to get all of the Chrome Old and all the test machines. It's just the
Not gonna be what you want.
yeah.
Could have a bad day. We'll give that an okay, and so we should see, there you go, there's 6 machines that are in Chrome Old and also part of the test machines. So at this point, I'm going to go to our test. We'll make a new schedule for testing. We'll say let's run that, we'll call this test dash Chrome. We'll run that daily, test it every day. And we'll do that, again, we'll do that after hours. We'll do that at 7 p.m.
Wait, you don't work at 7 p.m.?
Okay, if it's me, we can stop it at noon, right? I mean, oops, did I just dog myself out?
I wouldn't
No,
call it
I
we
work
do
late.
work.
I work late. You don't know that I really work?
I said I wouldn't call it we do work.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. We'll stop playing today. And again, for choosing targets now, I'm going to go grab that new collection we built, which is Test Chrome. You can hear my mouse wheel scrolling. Boom. Package. Verify that we actually selected. There it is, the test one. Stop deploying to targets once they succeed. Give it an OK. And so now I've got my Chrome, which is production, and my test Chrome. And how that's going to work, downloads immediately. That night, it's going to run and do your test. This is the original way that I was showing people how to do this. Not bad, huh?
So there is a caveat
Yeah.
with this one, where we have the 14-day, which don't set it to 14 days.
Yeah,
But then the schedule also only runs on Friday. So if Chrome updated on a Tuesday like it normally does, 14 days later it's going to approve, and it's going to be another 3 days before the schedule runs. A lot of products, you know, generally when they're going to update, and you can kind of build around that. But if you only have it once a week, you might have a longer wait period than you're expecting to patch your systems. So it's just something to be aware of.
I think it's a good thing, though. I do. Because it's like, let's say it comes on Tuesday. The next Tuesday it downloads Friday. If it came out on Saturday. So yeah, it'd be a little bit longer, but I still think it's okay.
10 days is a long time to not patch for security.
And you may have a point.
Every environment's own. I'm just saying, if you want it to be less, that's just something to be aware of. It could make it longer than you're expecting.
Yeah, okay. All right, between the debate here. Should we take a question?
All right.
All right, here we go. This may be a secret recipe question for you guys. But I'm curious what the usual timeline is from when a manufacturer like Adobe releases an update to when the package library is updated. Thanks as always, Timothy M.
So go ahead.
Well, we have some packages that are considered critical that we have to do. That as soon as those come in, we have people that are working at and testing to get those up as soon as possible. I can't give an exact time, but as long as it's time to test to make sure the new package works and there's no noticeable errors out the gate. For some other ones, like if it comes on Patch Tuesday and it's something that's not widely used, it might take a little bit longer to get that one because they're going to get the Windows updates first.
Yeah.
But we see those pretty quick when they come in, and it's just the time wasted is not time wasted. The time spent is more on the testing and building of the new package than it is not seeing it.
Rule of thumb, usually within a day. We try to be, I know we try to be, when I was doing it, we were trying to be first out to market. So it came out, I wanted to make sure the patch was available as soon as we could. I think that's still the philosophy.
Yeah, as soon as possible is definitely the overall goal, and we got a really good team on it. So
Absolutely. All right. Chrome test.
are you lost?
I feel lost. Okay. All right. So again, Jordan brings up your triggers and just your timing. Okay. Good to know that. Okay. Now we found a better way to do this. Okay. And here was the thought process. I'm like, doing it this way, I've got to set up a schedule for every single test. And I've got to set up a test Firefox test 7-zip collection for every single one. And so I'm talking to Jordan, I'm like, wouldn't it be great if we just do, one schedule, one collection to rule them all? And so we batted around ways to do it in PowerShell. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, what if we just did this? And it was so simple. I mean,
So there's actually a comment in the chat that says, "Let me guess, PowerShell," which that was our first instinct.
Yeah.
But we didn't need it.
No.
Which I never thought I'd say those words.
Wow.
well, that's where we went. So I'm going to show
Whoa,
you
whoa,
guys.
whoa! You did you seriously just say you didn't need PowerShell?
I'm not saying I couldn't do it with PowerShell. I'm just saying it was unnecessary complication for this very specific task.
Okay, all right.
PowerShell. Who needs it?
What did come out of it, though, is we found we could reference other variables and variables, which we're going to be showing in another webcast.
We don't
down
know
the
what
road.
you can do with it yet, but it feels like you could be
Feels
something-
awesome.
You could do something awesome. We just don't know what yet.
Yeah. All right. Enough build up, enough anticipation. Should we take another question before I show everyone how to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, guys, is there a way that we can find the silent parameter for a .exe program? For instance, Adobe Pro version, which is kind of a big package. Sincerely, 624.
Okay. Two places I would go. Sometimes you can run the exe with a front/question mark, and you'll get the possible parameters that you can use. That's the first place I check. Okay, that's the second place I check. First place I check is the Google foo. And again, I'm looking for the vendor. And if not from the vendor, you start, expanding out from that, community and that. Jordan, your thoughts on?
So I can't verify this is 100%. It's just what I've seen. If the exe is just the UNINS, then 3-digit code, normally 001. /silent uninstall all capitals has worked every time in that scenario for me. But that is a personal observation, not a guarantee. But if it's that specific named executable, it usually works with the same parameter.
All right, there you go. Okay, let's show them the easy way to do it.
All right.
So first thing, I'm going to show you this. Okay, we're going to go in, and you'll notice I've got two packages that can be approved. I have got Adobe Reader DC and Windows. We're going to go in here, and I'm going to call this. I'm going to rename this. This will say this is my test package. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this package, this test package, under conditions, can only run on machines that are a member of Reader DC Old. Apparently, typing does help. PDF apps.
Sometimes.
There was an early recommendation that we get you Mavis Beacon teaches typing.
They've already done it, guys. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
She
So,
can't teach his fingers how to be smaller.
All right, DC. Let's assume I got the right one here. DC Old. Okay. Reader DC looks like it. Okay. So this test is only going to run on DC old. So remember when I had to merge those two nested packages? I don't have to do that now. Okay. So I'm going to save that now just to verify that this actually retains that. We're going to go approve the approval, and we'll show you that it actually retained that. Approve now. It's going to download, and it will save that parameter. And it's so cool. I got to do little thumbs. This is cool, but this is super cool.
Okay.
That's it. That's okay.
That's
Not
okay.
going to abuse me.
No, I'm not going to be.
Where's-
You know what? I think you're doing a great job. Thank you for your efforts.
Do not do that. I don't know how to handle compliments.
That was really sweet.
I think I need to drink. So open this up. There it is. You notice it is now the new version, and it has retained the collection reader DC old. So I'm going to do that with our Chrome test. Okay, we're going to go in again. We're going to say this only runs on members of Chrome old. Okay. So now, probably should save that. Yeah.
Probably the best, yeah.
So now we're going to do a new schedule. And we're going to call this the new super. I'm not going to do it. New super Chrome test. I should not have tried to make something funny where I have to type. I should have just stuck with new Chrome test. Okay. Now, again, triggers. We're going to run this daily. And we'll do it at when I get off work, 2 o'clock. Just kidding. We'll do it at 8. Targets. All I have to do now is just go and choose the test machines. Okay? So now the package itself is only going to run specifically on machines that are in Chrome old, and I'm only throwing test machines at it at this point. Okay? There's my test. Stop deploying with targets once they succeed. Give it an OK. I'm going to kick this off. Before we do that, let's just go verify, right? So we should be seeing 6 machines, right? There are 9 machines here, but it should only update 6 of these, right? To test that, we're going to right click. We're going to say Start Schedule, all attached packages, and let's go look at that deployment. Okay, so there's my deployment. That one failed. Crony, not run due to condition. Yeah?
Yep.
Not run due to condition membership condition. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So this does condense your schedules, so you don't need so many of those, but it does.
It condenses my collections.
Yeah, your collections, yeah. It does, however, come with a complication, like on a patch Tuesday, this is going to be sending out a lot of installs, and you might be hearing from the network team.
Let's not talk about the downsides
Well,
yet.
well, we can't sit here and pretend like everything's perfect.
Oh, we can.
Okay, then there are no downsides. But without there being downsides, are there any options people have where they can have deploys that aren't going to fail faster to move on quicker? I suppose to make it just a faster process.
I don't know. What are your thoughts? You asked the question. I'm going to have to say at this point, it's running against the test machines. These are my test machines, and it's only updating the ones that are old. So it is going to fail. Oh, yeah, you know what? We can. Now that you think about it. Let's go look at that schedule. Schedules. Super cool Chrome test. Offline settings. Use settings from packages. Yeah. Offline settings varies. So our offline settings in preferences, this does make a difference. So under performance, deployments, offline settings. Here we go. So I would highly suggest using the right key to turn the highlighter on. Ping before deployment. Okay. So if the machine's off, boom, it's not going to try. It's just going to move right on. What are your other thoughts on this?
That's kind of the big one.
Mm-hmm.
The send wake on land will make it take a little bit longer again, but that way, if they're just asleep but can be woken up, you'll get more machines that way. So that might not be a bad idea to have. But that's going to kind of remove the speed we
I
added.
would definitely, if I was going to do the wake on land, I wouldn't do it as a global setting. I would do it at the schedule or the package level specifically, just so that you're not hitting everything.
And as Colby pointed out, as far as member of collection condition, that one fails really quick on its own.
Yeah.
So on those ones will go fast no matter what.
So in this case, I would set them right here, so just the test machines are trying to be woken up as opposed to every machine that you might send it to. And you can also do that at the deployment level, so. Good point. So in this case, I can now, instead of just calling this the super cool Chrome test, I can take out Chrome. And because each of these packages are only going to install on the machines that are in test and whatever package that's old, I can now add additional packages to this. So that one, if I add it, there we go. Whew, 3 times, and then I got the there we go. Okay, so now I can test all of these with one. Downsides to this.
For multiples?
Mhm.
I mean, it depends on what you're putting in there. Like if you're doing Windows Update's going to be a 1 per machine either way. But if you have, say, 6 or 7 packages in there and some of them are longer install, you might need to look at your total deployment window to make sure it doesn't close out before it's finished. If all 5 of those have to install at once, back to back, or does that work per package, or is that just all considered one deployment for the timing?
When it kicks off, it's going to look to see if any of these, it's going to go look at each one of these. So if there's nothing new or nobody is in like Adobe Reader old, I don't know, should we kick it off?
Let's give it a go.
Should we? All right, let's see. We've already updated Chrome. So now, I didn't save that. Well, while I'm fixing this, should we take
Well, while you're fixing that, someone in the chat said you have to be careful with using collections as a conditions because it's good as the latest inventory scan. In this case, we're looking at the latest old software. So if it updates, it's either the software is not uninstalled, you don't want to do it anyway, or the software is already updated and it's going to skip. So no matter what the scan is, if it updates, it means the software is already updated on that one.
Okay. So our new super test. Let's take a question, then I'll run this and we'll find out what happens.
Dear Lex and Jordan, I need to run a heartbeat job as a priority on a collection. There are other existing heartbeat jobs. This is a limited time job, has an end date that needs to be run first the next time the computer connects. Is there a way to set a heartbeat to automatically run as a priority? Sincerely, Russell K.
Automatically?
The only thing I can think of is the way to elevate to priority once it's already running.
Yeah, once it's running, you have to that's a physical, you got to go right click on it and say, prioritize, and it bumps it. So could you, and this is not should you, but could you PowerShell change that? Okay, things you're going to run into, right? So you've got one, there's got to be a trigger, the machine came online to run, and it's now in queue.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a SQL query to find out if it is currently updating, and then if it is, you'd have to then...
And it'd have to run on Heartbeat.
Then you have to update then do a SQL change to manually set prioritize because there's no command line to do that.
Yeah.
I would say don't.
Don't. I think don't's can you? Maybe. There's a lot of moving parts there, but probably I would be careful of causing problems with your database. So, all right, let's kick this off and see how many. I wonder how many of these are actually in Adobe Reader old. Let's go at least add one so we can see one of these kick off, right? Reader.
I'd be surprised if any of these machines had it.
11 Reader old. 17.
Look at that.
Still
What do I know?
doing right. I think they're in there. Let's go find out. Conrad. All right,
Yeah,
so we'll
one.
kick it off. We should at least see one, right?
Yep.
All right, right click. Let's see what happens here. Start schedule, all packages. So this thing runs tonight at 8 p.m. It kicks them all off. We've got not run due to condition, not run due to condition, not run due to condition.
Because a lot of those, you already ran the Chrome ones, so there's not going to be any Chrome old.
There you go. Speed, Penelope, Conrad. There's Conrad. Let's go take a look at the deployment. It is doing Adobe Reader. So it's going to make the attempt on all of these that fall in that category. So there you go.
I can't believe how uncentered that is.
What
It
do
is
you mean
the
uncentered?
most
It's
uncentered.
dead center.
Now,
So,
boy, that was so far off.
okay, I want to throw another thought out. Okay, so if I add all my packages to test into the one, right? So I got one, it runs against my test machines. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to get reasonably good tests. If I get flooded with a bunch of new packages the same time, say patch Tuesday, would I be better off to stagger that? Let's say have a Monday, and then I can pick the packages that get tested on Monday. You know what I mean? So to do it that way, right, I would do, again, a very similar style thing to, we'll just start with Chrome test, right? And we'll do new schedule. We'll call this the Smart Monday test, right? Smart 5. Apparently I'm not smart, but that's nothing new. Smart Monday test, right? And again, triggers for that one would be we would run, in this case, weekly on Monday, right? Boom, boom. And again, then I just add the ones I want to run on Monday. I mean, not a bad thing. And the nice thing is I still have one collection, and then I can divide up what gets tested Monday, what gets tested Tuesday. What are your thoughts?
I don't like it for test, maybe for production.
Really?
But for test, I mean, it might mostly update one time, but if you have an out of band one, this because something's seriously wrong, you want to test that. So for test, I'd want test to run and check every day no matter what.
Okay, that's a good point.
Because I want test to always be up to date with the latest one. If you're looking for production to expand it out that way, that's probably not a bad idea. But in that point, if you do get an out of band, like let's say a Windows update was causing a blue screen when you did network printing.
Okay, so then instead of this, how about I do all my third-party testing in Super Cool Test, and I got my Super Cool Windows update, and I could run those specifically on a different day. What do you think? Or is that still we run into the out-of-band?
Well, because we just actually had new Windows updates that came out 2 days ago.
Okay.
Because of an update that was causing blue screens. So it's one of those where for the test, I'd want the test to go no matter what, all the time, every day. For the production, you could probably try to work around it, but in that case...
I mean, you got a schedule per production anyway, so
yes,
it would kind of moot point, wouldn't it? What do you guys think? I'm just wondering, because this is something I thought of this morning in the shower. I'm like, I could do Mondays, I could do Tuesdays, and it's one schedule looking at a collection for tests. So
your test environment by default is going to be a smaller environment anyway. So being more aggressive, I don't think will be a problem. Yeah. And I would always want the test on there as soon as possible, because you want that thoroughly tested before you go live. And then for the other one, if you are only going to have it where you're specifying like only after the second Tuesday or like the week after that, so you give it a week to test or whatever, then if you do have an out of band, you want to keep an eye on that, and you might want to manually kick off the schedule.
That's extra work.
It is extra work, but I'd rather do that extra work than wait a month for it to loop back around.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. All right, should we take some questions? I think I'm going to have to agree with you, man. On testing, more aggressive schedules probably better. So, I don't know. Should we do questions?
Yeah, let's do a speed round.
Yeah, let's go speed round on this one. Hey guys, some of our workstations upgraded to Windows 10 2004 2009. Those auto-download packages were not set to manual the way 1909 and earlier is. Is there a way for me to unapprove the March 9th update and put it back to waiting for manual approval? We're usually 1 month behind. Thanks, Josh C.
You leave that up for a second. There's a way to unapprove the March 9th update. Jordan, thoughts on unapproving?
I mean, we're a month behind. If you see that coming, I could see maybe disabling the schedule for a short time. And that would still approve it, but it's not going to deploy out. And then when the next one comes out, it will skip over that.
Yeah, I was going to say if there's a problem, the first thing you do is you go into schedules, and we can show this. Right-click on it and just disable the schedule. The little green guy goes gray, and there's no next runtime. And then after the problem's taken care of, re-enable that schedule. So you don't have to delete the schedule, and you don't have to spend a lot of time approving and unapproving. So yeah, I would definitely just disable the schedule in that case. I did it.
We did it?
No, we didn't. Did we?
I'm so happy for you.
All right, ready for another one, guys? Hey guys, thanks for putting on the webcast. I would like to use OneDrive to store my packages and install directory. Is OneDrive supported? Lorenzo B.
All right. UNC paths, right? So can you UNC path to OneDrive?
I don't know if the credentials are different, but I imagine you can. As long as it has a UNC path and the credentials that your deploy or has can reach
get
that,
to it.
can get to it, I don't think it should be a problem.
Yeah.
But that's speculation. I haven't tested with OneDrive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would probably be the case, so.
Oh, nope. He says no UNC path, only HTTPS path.
I've never tried it.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably not, but I haven't
Yeah.
tested. I've only done UNC paths.
Agreed.
So, no.
Okay. That was a long way around to no.
What we learned as we went.
Hey guys, is there a way to reduce software download footprint by combining the location of the files? Chrome, once approved, could just use the downloaded file from Chrome test? Eric B.
I think the issue you can run into there is obviously timing and immediate versus, so the way timing works in that, I would have to say I don't think there's a way easily to do that.
You need to have the second schedule for production have to kick off based off the test schedule running.
That's right.
So
So you,
you might be able to do like a variable, the updates when that schedule kicks off, and then if it adds that variable, it moves over to production, which then runs X number of days after. But
that would be a fun one to make for a web show.
But there's a lot of variables on that one
Yeah.
where if it kicks off on a Wednesday, like how do you specify it's definitely 3 or 4 days later? It's
A lot of moving parts.
there's a lot. I can't wrap my head around all of that
It's not easy.
in the minute timeline.
Yeah.
But maybe.
We'll go with a solid maybe on that. I like the way you think, though, because it looks like you were trying to solve it. So
All right, well, so far we've had a no and a maybe. Let's see what we get here.
Confidence.
Hey guys, have you seen pester test, or how have you seen pester testing used in PDQ packages? I have used it in the past to validate a computer's configuration and send an email to a team's channel with the results. What are some interesting use cases you've seen? Sincerely, Andrew P.
you were in testing for a while, weren't you?
We were just starting to look at Pester. When
Okay, what is Pester? This is a new one.
It's
for me.
a PowerShell module that is built-in testing for commandlets.
Oh,
that-
okay.
Or for your script, not for commands, but for your script that will basically look for common errors. You basically supply a expected result with Pester, and if you're not getting that when you run the command.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically testing to make sure your script works before you're in production.
What,
It is-
something that we do all the time?
It is,
You and me?
Pester is awesome.
Okay.
It's absolutely awesome. So I don't know if they're using it or not because I'm not in the process, but I'm sure they are doing some sort of testing everywhere they need to have it.
Yeah. So
All right, 2 more questions, boys and girls. Have you guys ever thought of incorporating news for related MS patch with available download, i.e., no errors / crashing? David G.
So
news. Go ahead, Jordan.
So when something comes out, like the Windows one with the blue screen, we generally put out a blog on that.
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to our blog, do that now.
Yeah.
Because we're really consistent about both our patch Tuesday updates and our out of band ones when those happen.
Yeah, so there's nothing in the product itself, although could that be added to the banner? I don't want to make
So
no.
there's some information that comes with it, the description. I mean, I guess there's that. And then again, if you noticed when I selected it, there is a smushed up box that has that in it so you can attempt to read it against the package library right here. So
Yeah, the blog's a lot more reader friendly.
what? You want to make it friendly for people? Yeah, the blog guys should, yeah.
Yeah, so for the recent Windows one, Brock did that blog, and he has in there PowerShell that could remove that KB if you wanted to roll back instead of wait for the patch, as well as going over more information about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, the answer is yes.
The answer, yes.
Yes.
The final question of the day. Having the package in the cloud helps with users working remotely. Any plans to include cloud storage to deploy apps? Lorenzo B.
I'm going to go with, yeah. Yeah, there are.
Another yes.
Hell yes? Is that what I was supposed to say?
No,
Hell
it's-
yes. Yeah, it's definitely, we're definitely looking into that. It's, I think it's the way of the future.
Yep.
So, anything else?
That's it.
I got to come up with a closing statement now?
All right.
Do as I say, not as I do. Test, guys. Test before you have a really bad day. Have a kind of a bad day, not a really bad day. Testing's important, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm LexionPDQ.com.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, David G. and Timothy M. Winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. If you've got additional questions, feel free to reach out to our support folks. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.